Oh my god, sub hype.
Who did it?
Labria?
Labria.
Labria.
Thank you so much.
Sounds like a lady part. So I'm gonna
I know.
assume you're a lady. Thank you for subscribing
Labria.
for 8
I don't know.
months.
I don't know how it's pronounced. Ooh, I can see myself. Oh. Yee. Look at this toilet. Wait.
Mark sounds different. I got a stuffy nose.
Ugh.
I got allergies.
Oh, gross, dude. Look at that.
It's actual ribs.
Yeah, that's the meth house.
Oh, this is definitely my house. There's like a wolf poster, there's cockroaches, maybe a
When you
rat.
have meth, you don't really need that much else.
Yeah.
Mmm. Pibwasser.
Holy shit, man. Only 2 sips and it's done. Whew. Might as well.
Sub hype train rain. Yeah. Look at me, I'm getting all wobbly. And I'm just the camera. I'm a little hungover. I drank quite a bit. Yeah! Oh my god, I forgot it did this. This weird, stupid, like, mirage heat vision when you drink.
But why? That's what
When it
happens.
freaks out like that, it feels like... I would say that's closer to salvia than alcohol. When your vision gets like that.
But aren't they the same thing?
Yes.
One more
Piss
for the
water.
road. Who's here along?
I'm a professional criminal. Oh my god. Why?
Baby wants his bottle. You're a thirsty baby. Wah. More. I want more. Baby thirsty.
Ugh.
Bah,
Not
bah,
my nose.
bah. When baby's gotta feed himself.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Look at you go.
Yo.
Fucking Christ. What's my limit?
That's it.
Can I drink more? Nope, I can't. Fuck.
Let's go run and play. Let's do it. Goodbye.
Oh
Oh no.
I don't know what I tried to do.
There's flies around you.
Oh, fuck. That echo.
Like you're in some weird chamber.
Help, I'm drunk and I need to get to the hospital.
Ah! I had a dream I was driving Herbie the love bug.
This man wants to kill me.
It's self-defense.
Drunk punch party.
Man, they go down so easy.
It's not a crime if you're drunk.
Yeah, being drunk in GTA 4 was way worse. Like, you didn't even have motor functions. Like, walking was a chore.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird mechanical things they changed that I didn't notice because I never really played GTA 4.
You didn't miss out on much. I hear people go, oh, I love GTA 4. It's so much better than this GTA 5 bullshit. It's...
There's a YouTube video that shows the differences in, like, gameplay in terms of how cops react and how many bullets it takes to kill somebody and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So it's like if you have a preference for either of those things, then I guess there's an argument, but
Yeah.
I don't know. This is the first one that I've enjoyed playing. The other ones I never really, and I just dicked around and then got bored. Salvia! Fuck!
Not saying that,
Help! My salvia flashbacks.
Oh.
That looks really painful. Oh, I'm sober now. This is how it works.
That's all that happens. You have to eat some sand, and then all the salvia's out. You're good.
Just gotta smoke some meth and then you're fine. Ow. I had a bad day. Oh, sorry, my neighbors. I'm sorry. On welfare.
Aren't you
What
on
are
welfare?
Yeah. Maybe I gotta get off welfare and move to a different place where I won't be around other people with welfare.
Hangers on like you are fucking up this country.
They've
Hangers
got
on.
really aggressive stances. It's really funny.
Hate you.
I hate you. I'm just really not fast at all.
Who are you,
Just
Anakin
a
Skywalker?
jogging pace. I'm gonna chase you through town at this turtle pace.
Crawl in the back. Get out of
He
there.
called me a nigger. He literally just called me the N-word. That's so funny. Unless I didn't
Wow.
hear that correctly, but I could have sworn that's exactly what he said.
It's so weird to see a Trump voter in the wild. Oh, they give up.
This is way insane. Open your eyes, shit.
He ran away.
Doggy.
I got him. I intimidated him.
There's a daggy.
A dranky.
Oh, hi, Tranky. You're a good dog. Let me give you a good pet. I have to wind up for my pet. It's gonna be a big pet. Don't worry, doggy. That pet's coming real soon. It's gonna come to you, and it's gonna come hard and fast. Get ready, doggy. This pet's gonna be the pet of your life. Oh, that's not the pet. Don't worry, it's coming. Good boy.
Ow.
Doggy don't care.
He's fine.
Oh, doggy, I'm sorry.
Face first into the dog's ass.
Don't you see? I pet with my head.
Uh,
Oh, perfect jump. What acrobatic.
ah!
Doggy's getting away!
The fence. I noticed
Oh.
a structural weakness
Sorry,
in this
doggy.
fence. This fence could use some touch-ups.
Adam, I think you should pet that dog.
I think it's just gonna die if I click anything.
Oh, that was a good pet.
Oh, that was right. He's fine. Who's this?
Yeah, hello. Who is this?
It's me. I shouldn't have called.
Patricia! Mrs. Madrazo!
This doggy's so nice.
Hey!
Are you behaving, Trevor?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Patricia, I really miss you. Time together.
Barbecue.
Very important.
I'm still really
I
drunk.
have to go.
Okay. Well, I got Patricia's number. It's funny. She's a bigger part of the story than I had anticipated. It's kind of hilarious. Yeah, I wouldn't mind finding the other peyotes. Mark, do you have a...
Oh, leave me alone. Leave me out of this. I don't even know which ones you ended up getting, too.
Well, you helped me get them, so I was hoping that...
You didn't get any more after that?
No, I didn't. So I was hoping that you kind of... Ah!
You out of your mind? Oh, man!
Ah! Just trying to recover after you brutally ran me over. Asshole!
Nah.
Are you looking up peyotes?
Yeah.
I want a motorbike.
Off the bike!
From a mental institution?
Mental institution? Oh, you have a gun! Self-defense.
See me?
What a sick fuck I am.
You have a gun, you could defend yourself at any point.
Everything you do now is justified to this man.
Oh. I gotta get out of here.
Whoa!
Crap! It's the cops.
Rats.
You'll never catch me.
Goodbye. Wow, what a jump.
Don't mind me. Come on. There we go. Are you looking it up?
Oh yeah, this one was kind of hard for us to find.
Oh, well, so after you went to bed, I found the one that was on the, where you told me to go up a path, and that totally wasn't where
Yeah, that was
I was
it.
supposed to go.
I mean, you only found it because I told you which was the
Which
way.
the wrong path.
It was the way.
Oh, thank you for remembering.
What animal-
Yoshi Cage or Yoshi Kage, I'm not sure.
Well, what animal did you turn into?
I think it was a pig. Or a boar. Some kind of pig-like animal.
No, I was right. It was right by the compound.
You can watch the footage later if you want, but I found it and you told me you gave me not good advice.
I gave you the perfect advice, Adam.
Whoa!
That's murder.
Ah, that is murder.
Murder.
Nobody saw it.
In the.
The perfect crime.
All right, here's the second. Here's the new one. Here's the new peyote.
Okay, I'm gonna look on Mark's phone just to just to see where this thing is. So I'm gonna make a waypoint thing on the map. My God, that was the perfect crime.
And
Oh, there's another one in the ocean. I see. Okay.
the perfect crime.
The perfect crime.
Press play and I'll zoom in, I guess.
I'm gonna get over there, and then look back at that map. So don't keep it on that map because I just wanna get more of that area just so I can make sure I have a really precise.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this isn't gonna be like a full day stream today. My parents are flying back tomorrow, so I want to spend a bit of the evening with them. I'll do dinner with them or something. So I'm not gonna like this isn't gonna be like a stream forever stream, you know.
Forever. Stream.
Everybody has boats here.
Well, yeah, when you live so close to the water.
Everybody just drives around with their boat all the time. Oh fuck!
Oh, give me a break.
How do I feel about the Patreon incident?
No. Let's go.
Well, obviously it upset me, but it's not I wouldn't call it the Patreon incident because it's not about Patreon. I don't give a shit about someone not donating to me because that's, you know, that completely misses the point of a donation. You can't expect it. You can't get mad at someone for not donating. I don't give a shit about that. What I give a shit about was the unanimous amounts of upvoting going on to comments like people in the thread were saying shit like, "Oh man, I know video editing. I do color correction, and I know that you should be able to do this in less time, and I have every idea what he's actually doing." Like, people pretending to know anything about what my work process is like. It's like, I really just wanted them to post something of their own. I really was just itching for
Not only
people
that,
like that in the thread to.
They kept talking about color correction, which you've never done.
I did color correction.
Oh, sure, but like they acted like that was like more so, like color correction's more so than like pulling a bunch of sliders, and that's it. But like, why did they? It was weird that they kept mentioning color correction as if it was like this, like, oh man, that's.
It's very frustrating to see not just the existence of those people, but like the amount of upvotes they were getting is what really bothered me. It was like, wow, I had no idea that this was a way of thinking, you know? I had no idea that someone could literally just show up and be like, excuse me, I'm a video editor myself, and, you know, like, you don't know what my work process is. You don't know.
Yeah.
Like, if... I'm very clearly... Oh, fuck. Maybe I shouldn't be here. Damn it! Everybody's gonna get mad at me now. Fuck. Ugh.
It was really funny to see, like, okay, for me personally, it was really funny to see, like, people write in, it's like, oh, I'm just so done with, like, the Pokemon stuff and, like, his shitty Let's Play channel and everything. It's like, but you realize that those
I have
are
4 stars.
Ah.
Well, I'm just gonna kill myself then.
Goodbye.
Do this again.
It was a fun run, but it's time for Trevor to go back to his planet. Ah.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I was saying that it was kind of funny to me when people were like, it's like, no, I'm just done with like these quickies. Like somebody was literally like, stop making quickies, stop making Pokemon videos, stop with the Let's Play channel, and it's like, don't you realize that half of those things, like the majority of those things, are not even being done by you and are there to keep you entertained in the meantime. So getting rid of them actually doesn't change shit.
The Let's Play channel isn't done by me, and the Pokemon videos aren't done by me.
Yeah, but like even quickies, like that takes like.
Depends on which movie.
Yeah.
Depends on how much I have to say about it.
Yeah.
I would say a quickie generally would take me anywhere between 1 and 3 days. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna get in the helicopter now.
In this weather, laugh track.
It was annoying that like I feel like my arguments were being really misrepresented, because according to most people in that thread, what happened was somebody made a thread criticizing my content upload rate, and then I freaked out at them for criticizing me. But that's not really what happened. That's a gross misrepresentation of what happened, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's not like, oh, you can't criticize me. I just would like to correct misinformation, you know? Like if what you're criticizing about me is accurate, then, you know, I can probably learn from it, but it's not accurate. It's not accurate once the top posts in the thread are saying it's not inaccurate in terms of, oh, here's when videos were posted, here's how frequently videos are being posted. That's accurate. But what I took issue with was people saying that I was taking longer than I should to produce the same quality of content. That's what I was taking issue with, is a bunch of fucking idiots looking at my unfriended reviews and the ones that I spend a shit ton of time on, and circle jerking each other, saying, oh, those shouldn't take any longer than 2 weeks tops. Like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit, and you're uninformed, and you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. And then people freaked out at me for saying what I said, you don't know what you're talking about. People started, like, people were using that and saying I was attacking my audience because I said you don't know what you're talking
People
about.
love drama, and they want to
like,
cause it.
Oh yeah, of course, TV jumped all over it, which is, I'm sure, a lot of people in the thread at that time anyway. But I don't, it's so stupid to say, like, oh no, this was criticism, but your response to that criticism was attacking. You know, like, you can't have it both ways. I'm allowed to defend myself against accusations that are not accurate.
Here you go.
It's factual. If you think that the videos that I create need to if you think that the videos that I create, the same quality of video, like at a perfect equivalency, could be made in less time, significantly less time, then you don't know what you're talking about. That's not based in fact. It's not reality anymore.
Oops.
Oh no. I almost killed myself. Okay, let me take a look.
Yeah, here's the video.
Yeah, I only banned 2 people in that thread, and those were people whose accounts were created in the half hour of them posting and saying ridiculous, stupid things.
Yeah, that's very telling.
Yeah.
It's like,
hello,
there's-
TV. Hello, 4chan. Hi.
Thanks for showing up.
enjoying the party.
This guy posts threads about himself in TV.
Well, I guess.
What a hack!
Just gonna take a look. See. Looking at this video of the. Oh. Do I seriously need?
Scuba gear?
No, that.
Submarine?
Oh man, I might need that submarine.
Oh no.
How do I get it? Where do I get the submarine? I guess the submarine probably can't be too far away.
Let's go to another one in the meantime.
Yeah, this one
Here,
I think I'll save.
Well, I
for
actually
last.
just keep watching until he's finished with his animal
Yeah.
transformation, his anamorph powers. Imagine if drugs could make you anamorph, dude.
I didn't ban the guy who started the thread on my sub. In fact, he posted another comment in another thread like earlier today,
Yeah, I saw that.
and I responded saying thanks because he cleared up a lot of what he thought to be misinterpretations of what he said. I never got mad at the guy who posted it. Again, the only thing I took issue with was the significant amount of people who were upvoting really stupid, non-factual shit. I was upset over people's blind upvoting and circle jerking of things that are not true. So yeah, I mean,
Here's
I never really took issue with the original poster. He didn't seem like he had bad intentions. It was the responses within that thread that provoked me into making that first comment.
I like some people's people had like pretty just legitimate responses. I think like in the thread were kind of explaining.
Well, some people just get it. Some people
Yeah.
get it. And this shit doesn't need to be explained to some people.
I like that. I like that we have like an audience, I guess, or like people who are watching and commenting that like saw that and just gave like a very intelligent response and wasn't screaming on the internet.
Yeah, and then other people are just like, "Oh, you're just fanboying." It's like, okay,
It's like
well,
literally
you don't
explaining
think
what
that
Patreon
it's possible
is and
to,
how it works.
for someone to agree with me on what I'm saying. Like, you don't think you've completely
Oh god,
like discounted any possibility
it was like
of somebody that's capable of having the same opinion on the matter as me. Like, that's just fanboying no matter what.
yeah.
Why? If that's what's like, if you're coming at it just thinking like, oh, you're blindly following everything he says, then does that mean that anybody who disagrees with me is just blindly disagreeing with what I say? Like, you can't have it
Yeah.
both ways. It's really stupid.
So many of the comments for one of the Life is Strange
I think
videos
this is
said
it.
that like everyone in the comments is stuck in an echo chamber. It's like you all just hate this because Adam told you to hate it. It's like
I don't think so.
I don't think so, and I think there's plenty of dislikes, and not only that, but there's plenty of people who are very vocal over the fact that they hate that Adam hates that game. They're like, or just disagree, not even hate. They're just like, oh, I actually love this game, but I enjoy you ripping it apart because it's funny. But I personally love this game, and I don't see the criticism.
Yeah,
but it's,
some people are stuck in this mentality where it's like, what? This is this is objectively amazing, and if other people don't agree with me all the time, then that means that they have to have some sort of ulterior motive for disagreeing with me. You know? It's so weird, which is ironically kind of what an echo chamber is like, when you've heard nothing but people agree with you for fucking forever, and then
oh,
you get
good night.
surprised that
Zastro Gaming.
not having someone agree with you is like even a thing. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. It sucks that that a lot of people just completely miss everything that I would
Early bird?
consider to be great about my videos. You know, like I don't. It's not like I love myself, but I very clearly put intentional effort into what I do, and I consider it to be an art form. There were a couple people in that thread that were literally under the impression that like YouTube is not an art form, which was kind of funny. But let's see where I'm going. I just want to not fly over there. Yeah, I mean, it's. I feel like the amount of shit that I put in a video, like Unfriended. Okay, so let's break it down for a second, and I'll start listing things that I do that a lot of people who make similar content don't do. First, I put a lot of effort into the research. I make sure that I watch the movie at least twice. I dig for interview footage. That's something that not a lot of people do. I'll literally watch through as many YouTube videos of interview footage as I can find. Then, from those, I'll select which ones that. Oh, somebody subbed. Oh, hey.
Yay.
Thank you. I recognize you. Thank you for the art. Also, sub height. Just bear with me while I make this list of things that I do that take time and effort that, you know, very clearly would make my videos take longer to make than somebody else not doing these things. Anyway, interview footage, watch through literally as many as I can find, and if you've ever seen a YMS video of mine, then it shows how many hours of interview footage I had to have looked through to get all of those clips. You know, you can't just find those convenient moments of one of the actors contradicting themselves or a really embarrassing moment from one of the directors. You can't just stumble across that. You have to fucking dig for that. You have to go through like so many hour-long interview YouTube interview clips in order to find those moments that you want to put in
I bet those are so fucking
and most people
boring.
don't even do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're still just in like pre-production shit. Ugh. So after that, wow, this is weird. Where the fuck am I? So after that, I have to decide which ones I want to use. I have to cut out and section out those interview clips, and keep in mind that I have my notes of what I want to say in the review, but I'm kind of writing it as I go along. So I have to completely structure where I'm going to use those clips, interview clips especially, if I'm doing a multi-part series and releasing different parts before they're all done. Then there's certain interview clips that I'll be like, no, I want to save this for later, and I have to have a general idea of like how it's going to be structured, which if you want to do it properly, then you might want to spend some time on it. You know, if a process like that isn't time consuming, then you're not doing it right, and you don't care about your art. But anyway, after that part, then conversion and making sure that everything gets into the editing software correctly with no glitches and whatnot. But I mean, conversion can just be done while I sleep. Then it's a matter of going through the film, recording audio, and again, I'm writing it as I go along. It's not... Writing is a process, which is so weird because, like, even writing, how can you justify saying, like, oh, you should have taken less time to write something? Like, that completely,
Yeah.
just goes against the idea of creativity and art. Like, you're not... How can you justify telling someone how long they should take to write something? Anyway, so there's the writing process, which already, I'm glad I'm going through this in my mind, because it's just more and more obvious just how stupid this whole thing is. Writing process. That takes a while if you want to do it right. Let me just get out of here. Oh!
Goodbye, whirly bird.
Wasn't I over? Oh, no. I don't think I was over here. And then, something that I do that a lot of people don't do, is instead of just having a script and reading through the dialogue, I'll A, write it as I'm going along, and B, when I record my dialogue, I don't know if you notice the difference between something like my video and Every Frame of Painting,
right
which
by the
I love
tree.
every frame of paint. Oh, subhype.
It sits by the tree.
Chris 946, but somebody subbed hyped
Oh.
anyway. Thank you very much. It's by the tree.
Thank you, Chris. Turn around. Is there a tree back there? Yeah, that's it. Right behind that tree.
Oh, there it is. Ugh.
Time to turn into a dog. Do you want to finish your thought and then turn into a
Yeah,
droggy?
okay. Yeah, just so we're not it's talking over these things. Okay, the way I edit my dialogue is, edit and record my dialogue is I use Logic to record the dialogue because it sounds better than just going straight into Final Cut or straight into your video editing software. I record each line of dialogue in a way that if it's almost kind of like a Jeremy Johns video where it's like jump cuts, but it's only the audio. And something, so if we're going to compare my videos to Every Frame of Painting, who I love and obviously puts a lot of time and effort into his videos, but in different ways. One of his videos, you'll notice that there's a lot of, it's not as fast paced. There's a lot of like dead space, and he allows you to absorb, but that's not the tone I'm going for. And again, you shouldn't control what kind of art someone's making. That's not the tone that I want. So I make a lot of audio jump cuts in a way. And I make sure that every time I finish a sentence, depending on how I want the video paced, but more often than not, every time I finish a sentence, I cut out the dead space in between my sentences. So literally every sentence, the reason why you hear it just so like, like, and it never stops, and it's just so fast paced, every single sentence there's an edit taking place. So it's not a video where I just get to like record the audio and then just dump it in the video editing software. If you've ever looked at any of my timelines that I've published, that I've posted screen caps of, you can see like hundreds of cuts in the audio edits that a lot of people just don't even do. So there's another thing that takes time.
It's all it takes too that I hear. I mean, I think you just explained that, but it's just like, I'm
Oh yeah,
hearing
I'll
you
do
say-
like multiple takes of each line. Mark will just hear me saying like the same words over and over again for like 10 minutes because I
get
want
really
a good
scared.
take too, you know? I don't want
Yeah.
I don't want to record something and not be happy with it. I want the best possible take. A few times Mark thought that I was like actually mad and yelling at someone on the phone or something.
I
but
thought you
was,
were
I was just
thought-
yelling at Blair in Unfriended.
I thought you were legitimately like screaming and getting mad. I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
It's happened again.
Okay, so yeah, audio edits, and then it's a matter of lining up each one of those audio edits with video footage. You'll notice in my Unfriended review, if anybody else who was tackling that movie or who would be tackling that movie, if they were to use video footage, they would pretty much just let it play. And for quickies, I mostly do that, and I try to keep my editing to be minimal for the quickies, because then I can get them out faster, and those ones are more important about just like, hey, a movie came out, and here's my thoughts on it, right? With these longer reviews, you'll notice that, like, I would say 75% of the footage that I used has some sort of motion effect on it. Motion effects take time, because it's not like, oh, just slap this, copy-paste and slap these different effects on, and then presto, it's done. If you want to do it correctly, if there's so many windows in the Skype call, and if I'm zooming in on a different character, I can't just zoom it into the same spot every single time. Sometimes I want to have something be slow motion while I zoom in. Sometimes I want to zoom out. Sometimes I want to zoom in on two characters. Sometimes it all depends on what the feeling is that I'm going for in a particular shot. And I would say about 75% of the shots in that review have some sort of motion effect added onto it, and those take a while. And again, if you're putting thought and care and effort into what you're doing, it's time consuming no matter what. On top of that, all those picture-in-picture edits that I did, I hid people like Chris Stuckman and Jeremy Johns and a bunch of YouTubers. I hid them in like these panels in the Skype call, just to make, I like the idea of throwing things in there that not everyone will notice, and that sort of gives people a reason to watch it a second time. I want to make a video that's not just like, oh wow, I got it out within 2 weeks and I made my ad money off of it, and people are just gonna forget about it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, and that's why I also consider what I'm doing to be an art form. Whereas, I mean, anything you do on YouTube really is an art form, in my opinion. But if you compare it to a reviewer who's just sitting in front of a camera and they give their thoughts on a movie and that's it, people are using them as a service for what movies to watch, but they're not really using their videos as an art form that they want to go back and revisit. As much as I love Chris Stuckman, I just can't imagine that there's a significant... I know that there's probably some of his fan base, but I can't imagine that there's a significant amount of people that go back and rewatch reviews that he's made, unless they're, showing it to a friend of just saying like, oh, he explained it so much better than I did. It's the service you're getting in one of his videos is his explanation and his opinions, but that's not the service that I'm offering. That's not what I want to offer. That I want to do something where I can express myself creatively, and so, oh yeah, okay. Anyway, so there's all those motion edits, and I hid all those people into the YouTube video, knowing full well that most people are literally not even going to notice it. Just these few seconds, and every single one of those I have to individually like crop all the edges. Sometimes I mess with the opacity if it doesn't look like it belongs in there. Because if let's say you just throw in the square of someone into the Skype call, it's not going to look that convincing. If you're throwing in a good like 10 seconds of someone who's throwing someone into the movie who's not supposed to be there, it's going to look fake. It's not only going to look fake, but it's going to look distracting. And like I said, the whole point of me doing that is to have something that people can discover and not just be like, oh, it's right there, it's really obvious right away. I want it to be something that, like, if you're looking for it, or if you happen to notice it, if you happen to be looking there, then you can be like, oh wait, what the fuck, and then get some sort of enjoyment out of that. But if let's say I didn't color correct the footage of Chris Stuckman, if I didn't add all these trial and error, time-consuming effects onto it, then everybody in the Skype call would, other than him, would be, you know, kind of like in a bluish colored tint room, have much darker lighting, and then his little window would have been this like bright yellow, perfectly lit portion of the Skype window, and immediately, oh, Subhype, thank you so much.
Yay.
Dr. Trouble. Immediately,
Dr. Trouble.
immediately, you would notice it out of the corner of your eye because it would be the one thing in the frame that would look unnatural. And so, I mean, it's not as simple as just like, oh, you just zoomed out and slapped something into the video. It's much more complicated than that, and also keep in mind that the aspect ratio of all of the clips that I was using, I have to individually crop and size every single one of them. I have to make sure, and then when I finish rendering it, sometimes I'll notice that like a little hair of a pixel is showing from behind it. And since I'm covering the one that I usually cover when I add them into it is the blue ghost Skype icon, and it's so bright that even if a little sliver is showing, it'll be so distracting and look so unprofessional. I don't want to release something where I can see a smudge and just it'll bother me every time. I'm not making videos for somebody who is not like I'm making videos that hopefully can appeal to a wide audience, but at the end of the day, I'm making something that I want to be happy with. You know? I'm making something that I want to be happy with. And if you look at the lens of criticism that I apply onto pretty much everything, especially in film, like how can people be a part of my audience, look at me tearing apart all of these films and going through them with a fine-tooth comb, and I have a reputation where people say that I'm nitpicky, that there's too many things that I'll notice or call out or be bothered by in a film. How can you understand that I do that to every art form I look at and not think that I don't do that to my own? You know? Like, how can you... I don't see how that is such a difficult thing to just understand. It's the same level of criticism that I apply onto other things is what I apply onto myself. And that's part of the reason why my videos have gotten so complicated. Is because I don't want to just release something and then be bothered by something and just have it be there forever. I was so fucking close to almost ruining my Cool Cat video out of just wanting to be done with it. There were a shit ton of points in the video where the audio was peaking because I started using, I think that was around the time when I started using my new audio interface, and everything sounded great, but as soon as I exported it, there would be like a few points in the video where you would hear these like little pops and crackles just at a few select points, and I was like, I had it in my video manager, I watched it, and I was like, it was close to the end of the month, I was still doing I don't remember if I was still doing monthly Patreon or not, but I'm pretty sure I was. Yeah, I was definitely doing by per video. So I was under a lot of pressure to get that out, and I am very, very glad that I did not publish that version of the video, and that I went back and made sure that everything was right and it fixed all those things for the export, because I like watching that video. I like that I made it. It's my most viewed video now, and if that was my most viewed video, like, not only it's not that I would be worried about like oh, it wouldn't have gotten as much attention. It's that I want to make something I'm happy with, you know? And if that was my most viewed video and that's something that I made recently, and I said, like, this is what a current video of mine looks like, and it sounded like shit to me, even if nobody else noticed it, if it sounded like shit to me, that would suck. You know? Alright, picture-in-picture edits. And on top of that, so I explained motion effects, I explained picture-in-picture edits. But when you combine the two of them, if you notice how in almost every single shot that I used a picture-in-picture edit, there's also motion. So you have to think, how the fuck do you do that? Because wouldn't that mean that you have to somehow individually account for every single frame of motion when you do the picture-in-picture edit? So basically, I start out with the picture-in-picture edit, and I have it completely motionless, and I have to map out exactly what I'm going to do with it before I export any of it. So I have the exact amount of frames that I'm going to use in the final product for that sequence of clips. And then I export just the video of that clips in the highest possible quality that I can. And then I re-import that video into the project, and then I add the motion effect. And so that means if I have to go back and do something, I have to go back quite a few steps to fix something. It means that I have to know exactly how many frames I'm going to use before I do it. Otherwise, it's not going to look... It's not, like, it has to sync up with the audio that's already there, too. Anyway, so that takes a long time, and I do it just because it's more impressive. I do it because it to anybody with the slightest understanding of video editing, when they look at something like that, they go like, wow, that must have taken a lot of time and effort. You know, people who actually know what they're talking about can look at something like that and say, that must have taken more time than if he had not added those effects. It's not that difficult. It's not debatable. You don't have to appreciate what I do. You don't have to, like, praise me for what I do. You don't have to say that my art form is worth watching. But you can't go outside of the realm of fact and not say that adding an effect or several effects or complicated effects doesn't take more time than not doing that. We're arguing facts here. That's all I was ever arguing, you know? Well, no, I know that you guys probably get it, but I'm just gonna finish up because this is... People were accusing me of dodging the question. And when they were like, oh, what do you actually do that makes this so time-consuming? And the reason why I didn't type it out on Reddit is because I would have been there for like an hour typing it out, and then nobody would have read it because it would be like this like fucking 8 million paragraph post. Like nobody would have read it. And so yeah, you guys can probably tell by how long I've been talking about this that it is kind of a complicated process, and I know that some of you already know this. So after we get those effects on, and again, remember that I'm literally, when I make the videos, I'm making shit up as I go along. I'm making shit up as I go along because that's how art works. You create it out of nothing. There isn't, if you have a standardized way of doing your art and you're saying like, oh, this is how it's going to be every single time, then I don't respect you as much as an artist. I don't think that that is as important, and I don't think that it is as it doesn't take as much effort when you have too much of a formula down, you know? I like the idea of doing things differently every single time. And I've never edited a video in a complicated of a way as much, or in as complicated of a way as my Unfriended review. My Unfriended review is literally the most complicated YMS review I've ever edited, ever. And there were significant amount of people in that thread arguing that it wasn't. That they know that I said this, and they're like, no, it looks exactly like it would from your Ghostwriter review or something. Like, what the fuck? These things are literally just going over people's head. And then when I say you don't know what you're talking about, and there's certain things that you've missed, you clearly didn't notice, then people say I'm attacking them. Okay, anyway,
Yeah, fuck Andy Warhol. Sorry.
So... interview clips, picture-in-picture edits. Oh yeah, and in those interview clips that I did for Unfriended, you notice how, like, every single other time I've included interview clips in my reviews,
Static cut.
I've cut to the clip, right? But in this instance, I decided where I can, I'm instead going to have it appear in the film, and I'm going to like size it to show up in photographs that Blair clicks on and opens, or have people show up in the Skype call. You know, like, can you get the
yep.
door? Thank you. Sorry, it was the doorbell. I there I could have just done it the way that I've always done it, but in Unfriended, I have an opportunity to do it in a different way that suits the film. You know, I have the opportunity to put in more effort and do it in a way that I like it better. And there's I'm happy that some people agree with me and also like it better. I'm happy that there's some people out there that can look at something like that and be like, wow, you know, I'm glad that he put in the time to do it that way instead of just taking the lazy way. You know, I'm glad that there's some people that say that it makes it better. And then beyond that, the audio after the fact, when I add music, sometimes for the sake of this is also, a lot of people don't pay too close attention to how they throw on music in their editing. But as somebody who's very familiar with music, I like to put in the extra effort and do cool things with the music. So in Unfriended Part 3, which is not released yet, there's a song that's playing in the actual film called How You Lie by whatever. I don't remember the artist. There's a song playing in the actual film. And what I did, and I've done this before, and again, there aren't that many people that notice it, but it takes a long time, and it's something that I like, something that I appreciate, is you take a song that's playing in the actual film, and then normally the audio from the film is at whatever volume you set it to so that it sounds nice. And then when my dialogue comes in, the narration of me complaining about the film, you turn down the volume of the film's audio. But if there's a song playing in the background of the film, sometimes what I like to do, and I've done this quite a few times, and I'm doing this in Unfriended Part 3, is sync up the song that's playing in the film to the exact same song playing in your editing software, so that when you turn down the volume of the film, the song still continues to play as I'm now it's my dialogue going. So syncing up two different audio sources so that when you turn down one of them, it's almost as if the song exists independently of the film and that I put it in there, but I'm also just syncing it up to the film. So that's something that I like to do sometimes, and it's an extra effort that I like to put in. So other than that, something that not a lot of people do is create instrumental tracks out of songs that don't have them. So if you go online and you look for the song "Raid the Radio," you'll notice that that song doesn't have an instrumental track, but I used it in my review. So how the fuck did I get an instrumental track for my review? It's because I manually edited out all of the instances where there are lyrics. So you have to find, it's the same beats per minute the entire song. I was basically doing this with showing Mark how to do this sort of thing for Creed footage, but we never wound up actually doing it to the extent that we thought we would. But anyway, you basically take like a few different choruses or whatever kind of part of the song that you want the sound of, or a few different verses, and then you look for parts where the singer isn't singing. And so you might have like a couple seconds here, a couple seconds there, but in a lot of cases you'll be able to stitch these parts together, even if you have like 30 different pieces just to make up one verse. There's a lot of songs where you can actually get an instrumental track out of it that way, even if you have to stitch together like 30 different pieces. And when I put these in my review, it sounds seamless, and people go, where did you get an instrumental track for this? It doesn't exist. I made it. I created it. That takes time. Somebody do me a favor. not only try to recreate the same instrumental track that I did for that song, try doing it for Lizard State by King Cruel. That's another instrumental track I created out of a song. There's both of those Coco Rosie tracks didn't have instrumental tracks, and there's like the stuff I'm using. It's not like, oh, I just picked a seamless verse. No, I had to stitch it together. Oh, somebody subbed? I'm gonna just say thanks. Let me scroll up. Sorry. Blue Sir, thank you very much. So I have to stitch those together. Those take time. Most people don't do that. Depending on the song. There's quite a few songs that I use now that are kind of like public domain that I've really been fond of. But either way, there's editing going on in those too. I need to find points that I want to loop. Sometimes I want certain parts of the song, like the bridge, to be emphasized at different points. You'll also notice in my reviews that not a lot of other people do, is I'll use a lot of comedic drop-off timings. So the easiest one to do that I've done probably the most times is, because it's so easy, because it's so versatile, is What's the Difference by Dr. Dre. So I'll try to sync things up in a way where the song drops off naturally right as I'm making a joke, and then picks back up right after the static cut. That is essentially a way through editing where you can, say, build up a kind of sense of anticipation or expectation in the viewer. So it's almost like a laugh track in a sense, without actually being a laugh track. And... Oh yeah, so there's that. There's a few. I'm trying to think of what else I do with the music that most people don't do, but I mean, you'll notice over time that I've gotten a lot better at mixing. The older my videos get, the more likely you are to watch them and think like, oh, the song's too loud here, or I can, like, depending on certain speakers. So I've definitely gotten a lot better at that. And that is also something that takes time, is making sure that the levels are proper and not... I want to... Because music is such a big part of it, I know a lot of reviewers literally just like to keep it, like, barely audible, but I'm doing things with the music, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm making those edits, so why would I want it to be completely drowned out by my voice? So it's a matter of getting it at the precise volume where you can still hear it at a decent volume, but it's not going to distract from what I'm saying. It's going to add to it without overpowering it or drowning it out. So that takes time. And then, yeah, and I mean, I could just use the same song the entire review. I could just literally just have an automatic loop that I just paste on and just have it a barely audible volume and not give a shit. But no, I select based on the scene, based on I call them scenes, the couple minutes of whatever point I'm making, based on what that is and what the tone of the scene is, will mean a different song. So I don't just go, oh, hey, here's a song I haven't used in a while. I look at what the footage is, I look at what I'm saying, I look at what I'm trying to get across, and based on that, I'll put in a certain song. Sometimes, actually most of the time, it's not as simple as just being like, oh, eureka, I know exactly what song I'm going to use. I have to listen to them and think about the scene as the song's going so I can determine which one is the best one to use. So, I mean, I don't know if a lot of people put that much effort into the song. Oh, somebody subbed again? Really? Wow. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Apothecary 2. Thank you very much. So, I mean, there's effort going in there. And again, like, every single point that I brought up, how the fuck can someone say Like even if you're talking about like an individual effect, an individual decision, like writing, decision making when you're deciding what song you want to use, how could someone say like this should have taken less time on any one of those things that I've mentioned? How can someone say that? You know, that's not how creativity works. It takes as much time as it needs to get the final product, and that's what I've been doing. Is that it'll take as much time as it takes so that I can get a video out that I'm happy with, not a video out that I'm not happy with. And so there's not only there's usually, I mean, depending on the video, there's shit ton of video tracks, voice crack, a shit ton of audio tracks, where else was I going? I know that there's a few things that I haven't mentioned, but anyway, yeah, there's a lot that I have to re-edit too. There's actually like almost every review I've ever made, like my major reviews especially, there'll be points where I'll look at something and be like, I shouldn't have said it that way, and then I'll go back and re-record and just start the scene again from scratch because I wanted to say it differently. You know, there'll be times where I'm like, is this really a fair point, and just get rid of it. There'll be times where I'm like, oh, maybe I should specify this, or I should spend more time explaining this point as to not confuse people. And then, yeah, I mean, beyond that, there aren't that many reviewers that will use editing as a way to make their humor and tell their jokes. Pretty much every movie I've reviewed, like YMS reviewed for in the past 2 years, I've done, basically I've made YouTube poop kind of clips laced within the review of just editing things in a way to make it seem like things happened that didn't actually happen. I'll watch something and I'll be like, oh, it would be really funny if this happened, and then I'll think, wait, why don't I just edit it together to make that happen? So World War Z, we had that, like the Pepsi Mentos thing. We had, I made it so that she slapped her daughter. I made it so that Brad Pitt slapped the bald woman. There was another edit that I did for World War Z. What was it? There was the Pepsi Mentos, and there was oh no, those are two different things. One of them was Pepsi. Oh no, yeah, it was the Michael Jackson thing too. I made it so that it, like, literally the movie turned into a commercial, which was fun. I like doing that. For Cool Cat, I made it so that like he showed up on To Catch a Predator. You know, like, people are stupid. People are fucking stupid, man. How can he... It's not, like, comparable. It's not to... People are fucking morons. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'm done ranting about this for now. I'm sure that there's a million things that I forgot about, because, quite honestly, it's a lot to keep in my head, to
Now it's time to play some video games.
to have it once, you know, while I'm editing. There's a lot of shit to keep in mind while you're doing that. And again, like the key point of it being creative is that it's someone... You can't standardize a creative process, you know? Some actors do method acting. Some directors do 8 million takes. There's plenty of artists that they do things that other people just look at that and they say, well, this seems just unreasonable, you know? But at the end of the day, if that's what they need to do to get the final product, and the final product is something that they're happy with, then that's how it fucking works. That's what art is.
It's the Jackie Chan
fucking
approach.
Idiot.
It's the Jackie Chan approach to anything. It's like, if you feel comfortable with settling for less, you're an idiot, because you can't make that excuse. You can't go to everyone who's gonna view your content and make the excuse, oh, sorry, I could have done better.
Oh, yeah, why didn't we just film those water scenes in front of a green screen in The Revenant? Fuck Iñárritu, why'd you have to get natural lighting? Oh my god.
Anyways, eat that
Your movie
goddamn
went-
peyote.
Your movie went over budget, and it took too long. Oh,
Yeah, I
you're
hear a lot of
spending
complaints.
so much more money on this, and you spent so much more time on this than you should have. Oh.
Wah.
Hey, wow, best director. Again. You know?
Yeah.
If you catered towards whining fucking babies that just want to take the easy route and not put effort into what they do, then you're gonna have a shitty product.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
that's not what I want.
we can all agree that.
But
the peop-
just sorry, I just wanted to make one more thing clear
Yeah.
because there's gonna be plenty of people that are probably linked to this,
Subhype Judy
and
Dixon.
then there's gonna be people that are linked
Judson.
to this from elsewhere,
Yeah.
and then maybe just miss the whole first part. But I just want to just be absolutely clear that this is not a hey, this is why you should donate to me, or hey, this is why you should appreciate what I do. This is literally just a refutation of the false accusations that what I do doesn't take a shit ton of time to do, and that my content is supposedly just the equivalency of things that take much less time to do, and that people don't it's people that were literally just lying. I don't care if they realized they were lying or not, but there were people that were lying, just stating things that are not true in the slightest, that are not, in the realm of facts, that I am refuting. It is unfactual misinformation that I am refuting. It is not a you should feel blank or you should donate. It is not about that. It is about correcting misinformation. But that's all I wanted to get across.
Time to play some video
People are fucking
games.
stupid. Peyote!
Eat that fucking peyote. Get it in your goddamn gullet.
It was looking so yummy.
I want to savor it. You literally waited an entire day to eat that peyote. Ah! Oh, fuck yeah!
He looks so happy.
Man,
Whoa.
Whoa.
Man, I'm hot. Daggy, 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 daggy.
Doggy should go for a swim.
Daggy, daggy, daggy. I don't want to drown him right away.
be off hurting
I want another chance at being a bird.
not in southern
Oh fuck!
San
I hope I
Andreas.
get to. I hope I actually can
This
catch up to this.
Is not.
There's too many. Oh fuck! Ah! Bad idea! Oh fuck!
This is
No!
the ultimate. This is the ultimate fight.
Oh no!
Oh,
fuck!
kitty,
I'm gonna have
no!
I thought it was like a deer or something.
You can take him. You're a husky. You're like
I don't
some
think
kind
this
of
is gonna
husky
work out.
wolf
Where is he?
thing.
Oh! It's terrifying.
Back, kitty.
Oh! Fuck
Ah!
it! I wanted to.
Ah! It headbutted you.
Yeah,
the
that was,
ultimate
that
move.
was terrible. I tried to attack it.
Persia.
That
Use
was
headbutt.
bad. Hmm.
It was just a dream.
You freed me from my curse.
You freed me from my kiss.
I didn't watch Batman versus Superman.
I will.